The IRS just issued a notice to all Americans that we certainly need to pay attention to over the coming days, weeks, and months, as hundreds of millions of Americans are preparing to file their federal tax returns, and they're chomping at the bit to get their thousands of dollars back from the federal government. However, the IRS, as well as many tax professionals, are saying, not so fast, everybody. And that's what I want to share with you here in this video. And I also do have this article right here, which I will pop up on the screen in just a second, so you can see and read for yourself exactly what they're talking about. And I'll explain the details that we need to know about, a lot of details within this article. And this is a busy, busy time, as there's a lot of people out there that are so desperate for money right now. And again, we've been hearing for weeks that we're going to be getting a lot of money. In fact, on average, the average person is suspected to get over $4,000 in a refund. And I'm not sure about you, but when they dangle $4,000 on average per person / per tax return, it's a lot of money, and people want that money immediately. Well, that's exactly what we need to talk about. So with that being said, let's pop up this article right here. Feel free to read through the details of this, and let me explain some of the key details around this and what these tax professionals are also suggesting, because there's a lot of people out there, tax preparers, accountants, CPAs, all kinds of individuals that are saying, not so fast, everybody. Obviously, the IRS came out just the other day, and they said that they're going to start accepting federal tax returns on January 26th. That's a Monday, by the way. That's when they're going to start accepting them. However, just because they start accepting them that day, there's a lot of tax professionals that are out there suggesting you probably want to wait to actually submit your federal tax return. Now, full disclaimer, this is not tax advice. This is not accounting advice. I'm not your CPA. I'm not your accountant. Talk to your own professional. File when you see fit. If you're somebody that typically does file a tax return or not, I don't know your situation, okay? This is just a general video to give you some information here. But anyway, they're suggesting, because the rollout of all those major provisions, as you can see here in this article, scrolling through some of the major ones that are out there, because of that major tax bill that was signed into the law over the summer of 2025, because of that, the IRS needs to basically implement all of these different changes and basically recalibrate all of their systems and everything like this. Well, guess what? They're also suggesting that they've lost about 25+% of their staff going into this. So previously, they had about 100,000 staff within the IRS, again, according to what I was reading on this, and now they're down to 75,000 or less staff within the IRS, and they're suspecting roughly 164 million individual tax returns to be filed. That's not even counting corporate tax returns, business tax returns. That's just individual tax returns, 164 million of them, right? They've got their work cut out for them, right? And again, with all of these new changes that have been implemented because of that big tax cut bill, again, signed into law over the summer that you could see here in the article, they need to really get their systems up in order here and everything all calibrated specifically for all the new rules and all the people that are coming in wanting all of their money. Now, we also heard out of the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, that we're going to be seeing hundreds of billions of dollars refunded. Average person, average tax refund going to be roughly $4,000. That's just on the federal level, by the way. Those of you that are in states that you've paid taxes into, you may be getting an additional tax refund on your state level as well. They're not considering into the state level. They're just talking about on the federal level, an average of $4,000. Obviously, some people get more, some people get less. But here are just some of the major changes that came out of that tax bill. Now, obviously, there's way more that I'm going to mention right here, but these are just some of them. And again, they were also highlighted here in this article. You probably saw them, but let me rattle off just quickly here some of them. The new higher child tax credit payment. Remember, that was $2,000. It's now $2,200. $2,200. It went up by 10%. No taxes on tips. No taxes on overtime. The ability to write off interest on vehicles. Not all vehicles. Some vehicles now allow the ability to write off interest, okay? The increase of the SALT deduction, the state and local tax deduction, it was $10,000. It's now $40,000. They 4X'd that one as well. the additional $6,000 and $12,000 senior deduction, which, by the way, I have dedicated videos here on the channel talking about that. Since that was announced back in the summer of 2025, I've brought you a few dedicated videos about that, and there's still a ton of confusion around that out there. And I'm going to be 100% fair with you. I'm going to bring you another dedicated video about that because I still get questions about that. And there's still people out there that think they're going to get a $6,000 or $12,000 check because of that deduction. That's not right, okay? I just want to make that very, very clear. Sorry to burst your bubble on that one. It's not a check. It's a deduction, okay? Anyway, you also continue to hear that they continue to say, no more taxes on Social Security. That's not true. Taxation on Social Security is still very much a thing, but rather they're giving the $6,000 and $12,000 deduction to offset the taxation of Social Security benefits for about 88% of beneficiaries. There's still going to be about 12% of beneficiaries that are still going to owe some federal tax on their Social Security benefit. And remember this much as well, that you still have some states, there's about 8 states, I could be off by a state or two, but I think one other state, I think it was maybe West Virginia, I could be off on that. I think it was West Virginia this year, eliminated taxation on Social Security benefits. Otherwise, I think there's still maybe like 8 or 9 states out there that still tax Social Security. So your state, if you're in one of these states that still taxes them, may still be taxing your Social Security as well, okay? So look forward to that one as well, okay? So anyway, a lot of big moving parts here, and a lot of people are really, really, really chomping at the bit because people need money in a massive, massive way right now. We've heard about this for months as they've talked about it, and they continue to double down and say this is going to be the biggest tax refund season that we've ever seen in the history of this country, and the largest amount of money going out to the people, and it's all going to start flowing here literally in a matter of weeks. However, be warned, if you happen to be somebody filing a federal tax return, remember, the IRS basically will do nothing to give answers within 21 days. Now, that's kind of a weird way to say that. Basically what they say is, give us 21 days. Give us 21 days to process your return from the time that you file it. They say, give us 21 days. We're not really going to have any answers for you until that 21 days has basically lapsed, okay? So that's a big one that you need to remember, is that if you file a tax return, you got to be a little patient, okay? It's not what anybody wants to do right now, especially when we're looking at possibly thousands of dollars to be refunded. Nobody wants to be patient, right? I'm right there with you. Trust me, I don't want to be patient either. But this is what we need to do, is just wait that 21 days, and you can always check the Where's My Refund tool. You can always look at that, okay, on the IRS website. There's the Where's My Refund tool. Maybe I'll make you a dedicated video about that. Maybe. We'll see. But anyway, you can always check that if you want to track your refund. And again, remember, all refunds must be sent electronically, electronic deposits. No more paper. No more paper checks. Okay, that's another really big one as well. Those were eliminated as of October 1st of 2025 with that executive order that the president signed back in, March of 2025. Signed an executive order eliminating paper checks. No more paper checks, okay? So if you're filing a federal tax return, make sure to include your direct deposit information, okay? Do whatever you got to do for yourself. This isn't tax advice, not accounting advice in any way, shape, or form. I'm just telling you, make sure you have direct deposit information on there. Otherwise, you're not getting a check in your mailbox. Just making that very clear for you, okay? Anyway, stay tuned. It's going to get wild, okay? This year has already been off to a wild start. We're not even 2 weeks in right here, right now, as I film this video. Who knows? Maybe you're watching this video a little bit later, but as I film this video, it's not even 2 weeks into 2026, and it's been pretty wild so far, right? Anyway, let me know what else I can do for you. Otherwise, again, if you are one of the millions, 70 million people on Medicare, call Chapter. Seriously, call them. Thousands of you in this community have already called Chapter right here with this phone number. Free Medicare help, right? Free Medicare help. Thousands of you called them, getting help, getting your questions answered with your initial enrollment, help finding the right Medicare plan and coverages for you and your personal needs, whatever it happens to be, okay? There's a lot of you out there that have a ton of flexibility and optionality right now that you may not even realize, okay? I've seen a ton of comments the first, however many days of this year so far, people reaching out saying, I can't see my doctor anymore. My doctor's not in network. My prescriptions have gone up. My insurance doesn't cover my prescriptions anymore. I can't go to the office, the clinic, the hospital system, whatever it happens to be. Call Chapter. If you're on Medicare, call them. Seriously, call them there and see what options you have. Connect with a trusted advisor like the other thousands of people in this community that have already done so and see what you can do. I think you would be shocked with what options and flexibility and optionality you still have right now in early 2026, okay? Anyway, you can call them Monday through Friday, and you can call them on Saturdays. They're closed on Sunday, okay? I'm just being fair with you. But anyway, call them. You can get through, talk to somebody in a matter of minutes, and I think you're going to be shocked. Bring your list of questions, bring your Medicare card, grab your phone, grab your Medicare card, grab your list of questions, call them, connect with a trusted advisor, and let them take the rest for you. It's all free, okay? Anyway, after you talk to them, by the way, drop a comment down below. Use the word chapter. Let me know how it goes, and I'd love to give you a shout out and add your comment to my ongoing list. Papers all over the place. Ongoing running list of comments that I keep pulling out of the comment section from those of you in this community that have called them, collectively saving over $2 million of savings from call and chapter. That's amazing. $2 million in the pockets of those of you in this community collectively because you made the call. That's really, really, really cool, right? That's just so far, by the way. Anyway, we're going to do millions more this year in, again, collective savings from those of you in this community. All right, anyway, enjoy your day. Hope this helps you. Again, please subscribe if you have not done so. Share the video. Big share button down below. Subscribe button right down below. Enjoy your day. Thanks so much for watching this, and I'll catch you again later in the next